Welcome to Good Mythical More. Our crew has been surveyed. Many of them are of dating age.
Dating age. We've grown out of it.
We've grown out of that by getting married many years ago. We don't know anything about dating, but that doesn't mean we don't have opinions.
Oh yeah.
We'll see if they're right or not.
But
according
first,
to our crew.
Let's donate $1,000 to the National Immigration Law Center to aid in their mission to defend and advance the rights and opportunities of low-income immigrants and their family members. Please join us in giving at nilc.org/donate.
Okay. So you're gonna ask us what we think, and then you're gonna tell us what they think?
Yes.
Okay.
That is right.
All right.
Right.
All right.
On a first date at a restaurant, should one person pay or should the bill be split?
On a first date. Is
On
that
a
what
first date.
Times is a changing.
They are, because immediately I'm like, well, the person who initiated the date, I think is in charge of paying. If you're invited, you're a guest, and you're getting off scot-free.
Yeah.
That's my first thing, but you're saying that's not how it is these days? Of course, we're too old for energy drinks. Remember that?
Well, I think the thing to do these days is to split the bill. I think that is, and I'm thinking about like our crew. I think.
Do you think
I'm
it's
thinking about Mythical crew here? I'm thinking like they're a bill splitting species.
Is it species?
Species. They're a bill splitting species.
Is it because like paying for somebody is like chauvinistic or something?
Well, Link, you want to open up that can of worms?
Well, what is the reason? I mean, I just said, if you invite somebody to do something, you're on the hook for it.
Well, Link, traditionally, women were held out of the workforce, right? And actually, if you go back many, many years, women were actually seen as property. And then times changed, and they were no longer seen as property. But they were still seen, even the act of the father giving away the daughter at a wedding comes from the tradition of him literally giving her away because she was his property, then given to the husband who she then became his property.
Oh.
So we have a history of patriarchy, right? And then we still live in a pretty patriarchal society, right? Where that gap is still being closed. But then for a long period of time, it was the man was expected to be the one that was the resource winner, right? Which is based on long traditions, some biological things, some cultural things. It's a big mishmash of things, and anthropologists have been studying it for many decades.
Okay.
And what that led to is there was an expectation that the man was the one that had the money, right? And he was trying to impress the lady with his resources. And so there was absolutely no expectation that she would ever pay for anything. And so it just kind of became this tradition that in some circles of the internet or corners of the internet is kind of being revived somewhat at this point, right? There's people really just desperately holding on to traditional ideas.
Oh.
And so I don't know how many of the people here on the crew are holding on to those ideas.
I didn't say the man pays for the date. I said the inviter.
I know. You took a different perspective.
See, there you go.
Well, because
I said
gay people exist.
Because of gays.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But also because
Right. What do you do when you got two men?
Yeah.
They definitely have to split the bill.
I mean,
but
Two women? Who's going to pay for it? Who's going to pay? Who pays when two lesbians have a date, Stevie?
that's what I've been saying this whole time.
the one who initiates. That's what I'm saying. If a woman initiates a date,
I agree with you, Link. I agree. But I also think that there's some circumstances in the age of like dating app situation where like it's like did you really invite someone, or is it just a awkward texting conversation and you don't really know the person? But if you like, traditionally ask someone, I agree.
I agree with your logic, and I think I agree with your logic. If you invite somebody on a date, you should pay for it. But I think that the way this question was presented probably was just like, is it better to split the bill or have one person pay for it? And so I think that y'all said split the bill.
56% of the crew said they'd split the bill.
Whoa, 56%.
It's close, so it's obviously a debate.
Wow, interesting.
I also feel like, I don't know why I'm talking as someone who's been in a relationship for 13 years, but if there's a multi-part date, I would think that like it's like a little back and forth. It's like, oh, I'll get this one. I'll get this.
I agree with
I'll
that.
get this,
People, yeah.
I'll get these tickets for this thing. Yeah.
Because splitting the bill isn't very sexy, is it? It's just
it's not.
It's just like it's easy to just be like one credit card goes down and that's the only thing that happens. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It seems like when I go out with friends, it's like, oh, we're gonna split this thing, or I'll get it this time. Like those are the two things that happen. But then it seems to relegate. It brings that same experience into dating, and then it feels like there's nothing romantic here. It's what I start to associate it with when somebody's not willing to pay. Somebody's not willing to pay,
Yeah. For a first date, since we're in first date territory, which do you prefer? Nighttime drinks, daytime coffee shop, sit down dinner, some kind of activity.
For a first date, I understand, like a little coffee date for that to me that's like a pre-first date. I don't call that a coffee date, even though it has the word date in it. I don't think of it as a date.
Well, we know what Emily thinks. Emily,
She said it was an interview.
yeah.
Yeah, it's an interview.
And I actually think that that's how people use the coffee date now. It's like, all right, there's a coffee shop 5 minutes from my house. I can go see if this person's worth my time. And so I think that may have been a popular answer 7 years ago. People are now like, hey, listen, if you're going to take the time to spend time with me, we're going to either do something or eat something.
But
drinks was also an option.
What I've heard about dinner for a first date is that it's too much of a commitment.
Yeah, that's very.
Yeah, if it's not going well.
Yeah.
And you can't. The timing is set based on like the service. Like you have no control over. And you don't have an exit strategy.
That's a great
can't,
point.
You can't accelerate it without it being really awkward. You're kind of trapped.
Drinks.
In an activity, you're depending on the activity, you're still a bit trapped.
Hot air balloon especially.
Drinks.
You know what I'm saying? You're not getting away from a hot air balloon.
I like you, but I have a place to be.
Never do a hot air balloon as a first date because that's the thing. That's where you get engaged. Right? You don't do that as a first date.
Never do a hot air balloon.
Oh, really?
I mean, I've never done one.
I kind of like the idea. Drinks.
What did you say, Link? Drinks? No.
I said drinks too. Yeah.
I agree drinks, but 40% of the crew prefers some kind of activity.
Some kind of activity.
Yeah, you don't have to look at each other the whole time. You can look at an activity that you're doing. Like if you're hiking, you're both looking at something else.
What kind of activities do people do these days?
Yeah, what's an activity date, y'all?
Give us some activities.
Frisbee?
Are you frisbee?
No, like
Frisk
but
me.
you go bowling for real on a first date? Oh.
Bowling, huh? Bowling.
Michaela specifically goes bowling
And that's what
on
I
a
did.
first date.
That's what Christian and I did. And then we went for coffee, we went for bowling, and then we went for dinner.
You went for bowling and then coffee and then bowling again?
Yeah, it was a bowl. It was a bookend.
Hey, remember bowling? Let's do that again sometime. Like tonight sometime. No, we went to Chili's, then we went bowling, and then we walked to a coffee shop.
Late night coffee shops was a thing in North Carolina that doesn't
Yeah.
happen in LA. I don't understand. Why
No,
y'all
I don't think that. Well, yeah, I
No,
guess
all the
you're
coffee
right.
shops
Depends.
close here.
Yeah.
They all close here.
Yeah.
In the South, it's like you go to a coffee shop at night. That's what you do, and you get a decaf. Come on, y'all. Foraging, that's a good activity.
Because then you're both looking for truffles.
That's when neither one of you want to pay for anything.
Truffle foraging. We're gonna make a salad at the end of the evening.
Hey, if
This mushroom
if you're
may or
into
may
that
not
and you
kill
find
you.
someone that's into it, I think you found the
it
person
could
that
be
you need to stick
great.
with. You know?
How many people did you handle dating at once, assuming you have no conversations about being exclusive with someone?
Okay, all right. Paging Andrew Huberman.
Come on.
Why? What's the context behind that? Is it inappropriate?
No, there was a big expose. He was dating 6 women at the same time.
In the past. I don't know anything.
Pretty recent.
Why am I saying it?
I just said paging. That's all I said. It was really a pager joke.
How many people can you date when you're not exclusive?
No conversations about exclusivity. How many people can
Yeah,
you
you're just
date?
casually dating people.
Limitless.
I think as many as you can fit on the schedule.
Yeah.
There's no conversations about exclusivity?
Like
It's
No,
really
I
a
mean, like,
logistical
but in
question.
terms of
Because,
like what you could handle, like, and
what
I would
can
assume
I can handle. Not more than
what
one.
most people could handle, and like this is not like a one and done date situation. I'm guessing because you're dating them at the same time.
Okay, well,
multiple dates with multiple people.
2 is a problem because 2 is like an either or. It's too binary. It's more just like, is it this person or this person? So I think 3 mixes it up a little bit.
3 is a minimum.
3 is a minimum, but I think 3 is also the maximum.
Maybe you could do 4. That's one a week for a month before you rotate back. You know, I'm a systems
You're
guy.
gonna see someone once a month.
Well, there's other days in the week, I guess. So yeah, I'm gonna see you once a week. I'm gonna see you once a month.
Once a month.
Unless I start feeling otherwise, or and then if I find myself I can't go the month, well, that tells me something.
Exactly.
And then I'm like, who am I going to cut out?
Yeah, somebody's got to get cut out.
Because my other 6 nights of the week are like foraging.
Yeah. And foraging sometime goes into the next day.
Right.
If you haven't got enough for a salad, sometimes it gets into like 1, 2 a.m.
Yeah. Or if you get lost.
It has happened to me.
You move from one fern to twig to the next, and all of a sudden you're on the other side of the reservoir.
Just stay right next to the LA riverbank while you're foraging.
Okay, so 4, you're saying?
Red's saying 3. I'm saying 4.
What do you say, Stevie?
3 to 4.
Ooh, I'm going back to that time period in my life.
Yeah, right.
First of all,
It wasn't the best me.
I have
gotta say.
never-
It just wasn't the best.
How many people did you date at the same time? I'm interested to know. At your peak.
Yeah.
I mean peak. I mean just like the number, the peak number.
The highest point of people dating at once. Multiple dates.
Well, see, and then the term date gets weird.
Somebody that you
but-
would go on a date with, but then you did more than one date with.
I think just 3.
See, there you go. 3.
Three.
That's the answer.
I've never dated more than one person at once. I was
Me
talking
neither.
to 2 girls at once.
I mean,
but I wasn't dating them.
not for lack of trying.
Oh, I had the girl that I was dating made it very clear that we should also date other people. And then as soon as I started dating other people,
She got mad.
she was like, not those people.
Yeah, not those.
I was like, no backsies. Bye.
Right.
80% of the crew can handle dating 1 to 2 people.
Yeah.
1 to 2 people. Are you disappointed? Why did you give
we
a look
working
like
you
you're
too hard?
disappointed?
Yeah.
Come on, y'all gotta date. Y'all gotta date people. I mean, listen. One day you're gonna be locked down. You're gonna be in a relationship forever, and you're gonna think back to that time when you could have dated 3, 4, 5, infinite number of people at once, and you could forage whenever you wanted.
Yep.
You sow your oats.
But I think maybe the reason for this answer, 1 to 2, is just maybe it's just hard to find 3 people that you actually want to date, right? I think that's the limiting factor. It's not your time.
Don't be so choosy.
It's that you're just like, I can't find 3 people I'm interested in enough to date. Is that it?
Well, if you're a straight woman, probably.
Straight women are
Yeah.
they're really falling. They're falling behind.
Yeah, guys. No. Yeah.
They're
I
becoming
want to
a
make
rare
clear.
breed.
I want to make clear there are a lot of laughs from straight women back here. People who are
Yeah. There's a lot of men out there that are not worth a dookie.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yep.
That's true, probably.
Do you expect to be picked up for a date?
Well, if it's gone real well, maybe. And she's big enough. That's a big woman. that can pick me up. I'd like to see the woman that can pick me up.
Yeah, I know. We've had many women wrestlers on this show, and none of them can pick you up, I don't think.
She carries me away at the end of the night under her arm. Say that again.
Is it? Yeah, I mean, I tend to think of a date when you're like, somebody goes to the person, they meet up, and then they go together. But if you meet up at the place, that's not quite.
Well, think about, though, we're in LA. The majority of our crew is, on the younger side.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just saying. This isn't Hernet County in the 80s.
Everybody meets. They just meet at a place.
Everyone, and people Uber.
Oh.
Dating is so non-committal these days. I was like, well, how many children do we want?
It's
it's like, it was so...
You talked about that on the first...
When we were dating, it was like, it's so intense. It was like, there was a... What's the word? There was a...
Expectation?
There was an urgency to it.
Oh, yeah, there was.
Well...
Is the
I guess not.
expectation to be picked up?
I guess not. No.
Do you
Is that the
expect to be
question?
picked up?
You can meet at the place, I guess, and
No.
you're Ubering, and there's so many forms of transportation these days.
78% said no.
Yeah.
88%.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the car ride to get there is you want to avoid that anyway.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to
Okay,
drive.
I understand that. I'll meet you
around.
there.
When is the right time to bring up what you're looking for? In terms of like just something casual,
Well,
a serious relationship.
How many kids?
When foraging, you should know what you're looking for right from the beginning. Because if you're both looking for different kinds of salads, it gets real confusing real fast.
Right.
I'm looking for poppy seeds. You got to know wherever
lot of-
poppies come from.
A lot of conflict.
First date, second date, third date, fourth or later.
So like, what is this? We would call this DTR in the little circle that we were in growing up. Define the relationship. It was very important. You had to define the relationship.
Yeah.
You don't want to lead anybody on.
I think it's good to communicate things like that. Like,
I think it is, but when
how am I looking at this?
I did that with Jessie early on, and she was kind of mad at me.
Well, it seemed a little robotic the way we did it.
Yeah, it was almost culty.
But like at a certain point, you need to talk about like, not only what are your feelings, but like what are your intentions and what are you, like the exclusivity thing. That's a good example,
This is
right?
more not what are your feelings for this person, more like what are you looking for?
Oh.
Like I am looking to get into a serious relationship, or I just want to keep this casual, or that.
Well,
type of.
isn't that on in the dating profile or your like email closer?
I mean,
Yeah, that's in the signature.
It's in your signature line.
It's on your LinkedIn.
Everybody knows that before you start because everybody's doing the apps.
What
Right.
do apps say that kind of thing?
Yeah.
sometimes
What you're looking for?
but also people, I would guess, write different things on their profiles versus like what they mean in real
Looking
life.
for whatevs.
I think first date. That's how I would do it. Don't want to waste anybody's time, especially my own.
I think, here's my logic. First date, you don't want to bring that in because you're just trying to get to know the person without any expectations. Second date,
And you may change your mind.
you might change your mind.
Yeah.
Second date is like did I like this person or was I just having like a good brain day or something? You know what I'm saying? Like I just thought things were good.
Good brain day.
And then third date is when you're like, okay, we have to have a conversation. Third date.
40% of the crew thinks that bringing up your dating intentions is best on the first date. But it's just 40%, so it's a little bit all over the place.
David was he was nodding his head at me. He third date. That's when he talks about his expectations.
Rhett likes the idea of playing games.
First date, like I just think it just can kind of like
Just for the fun?
It can be a buzzkill to like start talking about that stuff.
Well.
It's just like keep it a little mysterious, have a good time, bowl
Yeah.
us a couple of strikes.
Don't be too romantic.
Throw one in the gutter.
Robotic.
Throw one in the gutter on purpose. You don't want her to think you're perfect.
Rep your favorite game with the new International Darts League hoodie and t-shirt available now at mythical.com.